Okay. I just figured out what we need to do. I'm going to challenge Putin in World War II. General Patton. General Patton said that he thought that the entire, I think either African campaign or maybe the entirety of World War II should just be decided here and now between him and Rommel and two tanks. He and his tank and him and mine. Tank on tank. Winner take all. Isn't that a glorious way to think? Like, I love Patton. I love Patton a lot because, like, it's how you should think. Not the best way to always be, but, like, hell, it's a hell of a way to always be, isn't it? My thoughts on that. And for Putin, like, clearly, like, I'm not going to challenge him to a tank fight. Ghost Rider's not a tank, and I'll be fighting in Ghost Rider. He can have any car of his choice modified with any of his James Bond gadgets that he wants, and we'll have a spy car off. There we go. This is, I bet we could sell Putin on this. You'll get a Russian spy car, and then we'll have like the boys at Langley add some shit to Ghost Rider, and then we'll go for it. You really think Putin's spy car is going to beat Ghost Rider? I mean, he might start out with a new car for his base model, but you know, Ghost Rider's proven. She's ridden 169,000 miles. That's just funny. The idea of taking a fucking $2,000 Honda minivan to decide the fate of the free world. That's very funny to me. I had a vodka lemonade when we ran out of fucking camera battery. I'm sorry I'm smacking a little bit. I was eating corn chips. Like, oh, fuck. Man, I've been kind of crying off and on all night over various shit. And, it sucks, but it's awesome all at the same time. So, it is what it is. I miss it, man. That stupid Christmas movie made me miss it more. Also, I think I'm gonna buy a second black powder revolver. They got those little short Pietas, like the bird's head grip. I just looked it up, but I forget what it's called already. It doesn't have a loading lever. I debated getting one of those, and I think the more I play with this and this thing, I want to get one of those, and I want to cut this holster to fit that exactly, and then it can fit this gun or that gun. Because they're the same frame, basically. And I want it shorter to be Outlaw Josie Wales style on this thing, because that sight, there's no way to really get that to fucking come in that easy, other than, I think the Outlaw Josie Wales thing and making kind of a funnel out of the hole into the holster, that'd probably accomplish my goal. We're still blowing snot. It's because I'm crying. Welcome to fucking crying, I guess. Oh. We're having a moment of silence for the gun community's balls. Yeah. Especially Canada. They're about to lose all their guns. I really like the black powder revolver. And I really like the idea of that more compact one. And you have a pair of them. I don't know what I'm going to do to customize that one. The sight mod is probably going to be similar. Although I don't have the bandsaws that I use. No, sorry, bandsaws. The grinders I use to do this one. I might just leave its sights alone. That seems silly. This one I sort of half-assed had a plan. But I was kind of fucked up in the head when I started this project. And one of the things I did was completely do this fucking front sight 100% to completion, finish out making it. Like, I ground it, whatever, right? And then I didn't glue it on. And I kind of played with it for like 3 months, deciding on whether or not I wanted to even pursue this sight mod more. And I spent $30 on the sight. But I guess, it would be bitching to get a tritium one. And I'm going to try to talk to XS Sights. Maybe they'll make me one. If I could get them to make me fucking tritium dots, I'll fucking pay them. I don't know that I'd ever carry both black powder revolvers at once, but like, I carried this one today, and I dug it. Being Thanksgiving and all, like, seemed an appropriate gun. My uncle dug it. I was going to show it to my other uncle, but never got the chance. I left all my stuff in the garage with my other uncle when we were smoking, and I threw the pistol on the table because his pistol was on the table too. I'm like, his was there in case he had to throw it back in a safe or something if the grandbabies showed up or whatever. So I threw my pistol there with it. Figured you could grab them both. It would be fucking hilarious to see the spy car battle between the modified $2,000 broke bitch ass Honda minivan and fucking the Russian spy car. You know Putin would show up in a tank. You know he would. Like, this is Russian spy car. Pat's top of tank. That's what that was. Like, oh, Bessie here in Russian. It is Russian spy car. The thing that I think you should get about my feelings on Putin and Russia is basically Russia is honored adversary. I would take Russians prisoner. Because I figure we're going to have to deal with them when the fucking war's over. There's countries we could fight where I would literally go in no prisoners. China. You know, as far as fucking shitheels go, I like Russia. I really would rather not go to war with that particular one right now. I think it's a bad move. This is one of those things that kills empires. And we're watching the fucking quick death of ours. Like, we went from... We went from basically watching a new 1980s happen again to watching a new 1970s happen again because of an election. And I knew this shit was going to happen. Like, my girlfriend, when the election happened, was like, kind of didn't really care one way or the other. She didn't even vote. Which I admire her about that, to be honest, because, like, from her point of view, there's no good person to vote for, so why even vote? And, like, I respect it. I respect much of her view after really examining it. Like, the whole time we were getting fucked up together, I was, like, doing an anthropological study of her political beliefs. Because it was, like, I figured it was the chance of a lifetime to, like, pick inside the brain of one of these people. And it was fascinating. And how much of shit we had in common. Like, this is one of those things, like, sometimes the only people like you are your enemies. And sometimes they're good and bad. Because, like, in reality, she's not my enemy, but she could very easily become a foot soldier for people that are. She's in with the Antifa shit, and that's one of those. It depends on which faction, it depends on what their goals are, it depends on who's running it, yada yada yada. However, they're all pretty much fucking communists, which means they're not loyal to anything I am. And, like, that was her in a nutshell. And, like, she's good and bad. She's good and bad. And had, like, the most interesting conversations on Earth. Because she was a communist that loved Hunter S. Thompson and guns. And drugs. Which is really, like, she was the Hunter S. Thompson fan that liked drugs, and I was the Hunter S. Thompson fan that liked guns, and man, did we fucking have a party when we met. Because it was like, she showed up with the fucking, you know, Dr. Doom fucking briefcase of fucking drugs from Fear and Loathing, and I showed up with, like, the plane of guns that they were flying to arm Cubans with or whatever, and fucking where the buffalo roam. Like, okay, well, now what do we do? It's just like, we should get fucked up and play with guns. Like, yes, this is the way. We should probably make sure they're unloaded. And she was like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea most of the time, although I'm pretty fucked up now and I have a loaded gun unholstered sitting in my lap. And it's a cap and ball revolver. And I feel safe. Like, and I have my finger on the trigger. Ooh, now we're getting real dangerous. The only thing is, every time I shoot a single action, I draw the gun with the fucking trigger down. I'm probably just fucking cocking and firing the first shot. The second shot we might be using sights, but you know, these are a different kind of breed. And, like, I don't mean cap and balls, I mean single actions. They're made to shoot kind of instinctively. And if you're used to doing it on the first shot every time, I would never use the fucking sights. Because it's so much faster to take a shot from the hip. And they're easy to shoot with that way. Like, again, this isn't how I've shot every gun, but I've shot Old West guns that way quite a bit. So I'll take the advantage. You know? That's one of those, like, they're probably at close range. If they're not, you might go for the sights. There's like that, hey, are they 3 yards away? Are they 5 yards away? Are they 7 yards away? These change the answer on hip shooting, right? they're 7 yards away, I might go for sights. If they're 3 yards away, I'm probably not using sights at all because they're just that close, right? In reality, you could probably point shoot with a single action on a torso pretty easily out to 15 yards. Pretty relatively easily out to 25 if you have any skill at all. But like 15 is pretty good. It's pretty far away to be point shooting, but that's also aiming at torsos. So like this is half a thing of point shooting. Aim small, miss small. That translates to aim at the big part of the fucking body, moron. You know, I say it that way because, like, I want to know who am I going to insult. I know Blazer watches this. I'll pick on Blazer. I like everybody else. I haven't heard from Blazer in a minute though. He's been working on it so much. I think everyone that has a real type job has been working a lot. I keep scrounging for things to go do. That's fun. I fixed a bunch of shit in an old lady's house the other day. I fixed her cabinets and 2 doors and a fucking garbage disposal. This is the shit that, like, I'm handy. You know? That's what really makes me laugh about that big titty shop teacher bullshit. Like, bitch, you should be so lucky to get Ray Ray as your shop teacher. Titties or no titties? I don't know. That bitch is fucking weird. Right? That's a fake trans person in some ways, but in other ways, like, no, they're a sexual deviant who is into I'm not going to go into details about the things that I can tell that they're into just by some of the things that they were doing. But they're in the spectrum of what would be considered trans by some people. I personally think that they're just weirdos. But they're like dudes that want to stay dudes that dress up as chicks on the weekend and get fucked like sluts. Like, I was never one of those. Like, as I started to transition, there was a solid couple of months there where we pretty much stopped everything we were doing and just had sex because, like, we could get fucked whenever. Like, that was a new experience. Shit. As a guy, I was not very attractive as a gay man. And dieting and exercise and hormones and yeah. Plus, chubby women, I think, are hotter than chubby men. There's a big debate about that, but not that, like, you know, chubby men can't be hot too, but, like, it depends a lot on, like, where the chubby is. Like, you have a little bit of a beer belly, or are you, like, you know, so big that you can't fuck me? Because if you're so big that you can't fuck me, well, like, are you, like, that's, are you a girl too? I don't know. But see, it gets weird at that point, right? That's my thing. I really always just like getting fucked. I don't think it's so strange. I think it's weird to fucking be a regular dude in, you know, normal day-to-day life so you don't have to put up with the hassles that come with doing this. and then like wear fake plastic tits like some sort of freak show. Like that's some like serial killer bullshit. Don't wear fake plastic titties. And this is a message to the trans women who might be listening. Honey, grow them or get implants maybe. Like, and here's my thing is, if you are on the right pills and hormones, you will grow boobs. Have faith. It takes time. And go eat some fat. Go eat some fattening shit in general while you're on the hormones, at least for a bit. Like, you can lose some weight later, but like to get the mass in your boobs, you're gonna have to gain a little weight. Lose it back later. Like, this is how you build a fucking body. Like, a lot of people don't get how much of a bodybuilder I really am. Just my goals are not the same as Arnold. I would like to look like a very, very hot woman. I'm starting to get there, to be honest. The fucking dude at the liquor store helped me for like 30 minutes the other day. I had fun. All I did was buy a $10 bottle of vodka after all that. Oh, he was cute though. He was cute except for the dreadlocks. And like, that's a no. And he was a black dude with dreadlocks, which, that's a lot cooler. White dude with dreadlocks, dude, if I did hook up with him, I would fucking cut it off in his fucking sleep, probably. Like, with the black dudes, it can be like some religious shit. The white dudes, you're just a douchebag. Is my opinion. I will also add that I have known many a white dude with dreadlocks. They always sell LSD or mushrooms or some other shit. And they always are kind of weird. And they always are kind of ridiculous. Basically, they're a weird ass person. If you're listening and have dreadlocks and are a white dude, that may not be you. This has just been my experience. And my experience is not one person. It's a sample size of about 20. And, you know, you can say 1 or 2 is coincidence. 20 is a fucking pattern. Thinking of 2 dudes in particular right now that I'm just like shaking my head about. Anyway. I miss dry firing this gun, but basically as soon as I put the new nipples in it, I was planning to never dry fire it again, so it might as well be loaded. I trashed the factory nipples because they're useless anyway, and I saved them in case I ever want to dry fire some more. I could swap them out. I basically made some dedicated dry fire plugs out of the factory nipples, and like, the factory nipples suck, and these things are Track of the Wolf nipples that I think all in all were like 25 or 30 bucks for the full set of them. And they hold these caps so good I can't get them off, so I tried to uncap it at one point just to show my uncle the action, and I can't get the caps off. I'm like, well, I guess we ain't doing that. That's a really nice action now. My key to doing action jobs on any fucking gun ever is to fucking wear it out a little bit. Like, the guns that people think of as being the best thing ever, usually they've been properly broken in. And were a very nice gun to begin with. You know, for example, this thing's a Pieta. You can say what you will about Pietas. I bought the Pieta because I thought it was going to be a better functional gun in the long run than a U-Birdie. Like the Uberti would need more parts. The Pieta make better guns, but they have worse grips. Their grip isn't correct to the Colt. It's their own thing. I've used Pietas in the past. I can dig it. I can also fucking sand it off, but I just haven't. I should have done that when I had the belt sander probably, but I wasn't really sure. At that point, I wasn't up for doing that, for one thing, and for the other, I still don't know if I'd really want to do it. It's one of those things that I'm slow to do things on some of these, because I'm going to live with these for a long time. And having a right side holster for this thing that doesn't say BBCs on it, I like that. Having the crazy ass psychobilly fucking BBC tiger stripe holster, that like, I want to have that on my belt in Vietnam. That's my view of that holster. It's like that gun and Sally together on a belt, like flying helicopters with fucking Ride of the Valkyries blaring. You know, everybody has a style. Oh. Oh, ow. Ow. Cramp. That sucked. This has been a long day. I probably ought to drink some water, because, like, I think that might be where I'm cramping up. I'm also, like, sleepy as fuck, and a little drunk, and quite a bit high. Ooh. And I love the Elvira revolver. That's what I named her. I named her Elvira, because she's a cold-hearted bitch from hell. Should have named her Tiffany. I just like bitching about that bitch because she deserves to be bitched about. Of all of the people that I've ever bitched about on here, the thing that you should get is forget Matt and the boys, forget James Yeager, forget anybody that I've ever talked about in a negative or positive way at all. Your takeaway from this radio show should be that women named Tiffany should not ever procreate or be trusted. That's ended the lesson. There's something wrong with them. Giving them the name Tiffany fucks up their brain. You're like, that's mean. Yep, sure is. So she... Bitch stole my car. Fuck her. Someday, if I'm ever a famous stand-up comedian, it's probably going to be over this shit. To be honest. I am going to have a portion of my act that is talking shit about Tiffany for 5 minutes. And the sad part is, like, I talk so much shit about her because I loved her so much. I really liked her because she was kind of a kinky, freaky little lesbian chick that really, 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 really liked me. Like, I turned her on sexually in a way that, like, I'm not sure any man does for most women. I don't know. She is now a trans man and, like, has her own issues, and that this is maybe some of that is that she wanted to put her dick in me, and, like, this was the complex nature of our relationship. She didn't have a dick, And just lots of like, yeah. I don't get to steal the car thing now. And like, she did bring it back, so I was borrowing the car, but like, she disappeared with a fucking $30,000 car for fucking 3 days. Most people probably would have called the police. I just waited. She'd come back. I'm just sitting here, doing whatever I normally do and wondering why I don't have a car for a couple of days. No big deal, really. Like, this is part of the... I like to have a shop and a house and have the two somewhat connected together somehow, and or be a short distance apart. Because then, like, you have your place where you make your stuff, you have your place where you live, you have some sort of woods-like area around it. This is kind of in a nutshell where, like, I can exist where I currently do in Tulsa. If I can't exist here, like, I probably am going to have to find land somewhere. I could come back to that. That keeps bringing me back to making money, but at the moment, with land prices being where they are and the value of a dollar being where it is and lots of other things, like, it's like, I'll wait. I'll keep working on my mobile rig. Like, I don't have to fucking buy land anytime soon, really. I'd really like to get the van rigged out to the point that I could live out of it full time and go drive around the desert. But I don't know how much I'd really like that. But it sounds like fun. I want an adventure. I don't remember what the start of this video was about, so I'll see you guys later. I gotta go do some other stuff. I'll see ya.